Are you in there? I'm here. I'm Champ. It's Champ Champenstein.
And Heather Hadfield.
Hello?
Can
Are
you
you
can you
there?
hear me? Are you there, God?
Welcome to the comic book Bone Zone. It is number 20. We've made it 20 times. I mean,
I was gonna
technically
say
this
we're in the double digits now, but we've been in there.
we're about to get you boned up on these comic books for the last couple weeks.
Ew. I think we have the same length hair now.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good
It's cute.
haircut. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
I'll
that's
talk
fine.
about comics.
Yeah.
Let's just get this Bone Zone ball rolling. I've got 7 Years in Darkness. I couldn't remember if it was in or of darkness. This is issue number 2. Um, Remember, I had that theory in the last issue where I was like, I think there's going to be 7 issues. There's not. There's only going to be 5, which doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'll question it when I get to the end. We'll see how it plays out. Basically, this is just a story about a group of children whose families are a part of a cult, basically, that are conscripted to this school called Academy of Black Magic for 7 years, where they study the dark arts in like a cave. So they're completely devoid of any sun.
Mhm.
In this issue, you are introduced to one of the other like students and how she ends up like in here because of her family, and you get to know a little bit more about the school. I do really enjoy this story, but it's like I said with the first issue, it's the art for me and like the
Yeah,
colors,
yeah.
like the flashbacks are I mean they have like one main color that is the cover, and then that's what the flashbacks are, is like in that color. And
Okay,
then
that's cool.
in the school, it's like it's so good. It's just so good. The art is just absolutely incredible.
Oh, that like greenish yellow is weird. I
Mhm.
like that.
But yeah, one of the rules of the school is they are not supposed to like know their each other's names. They have a mask that they wear when they're outside of the room and stuff, and they're not supposed to take their mask off because they're basically anonymous to each other. It
Hmm.
helps them like um stay competitors, I guess, rather than like becoming friends and stuff like that. Because if you
Yeah.
see their face, like it's easier to think of them as like a person.
Yeah, yeah.
But it goes into like explaining that and what they're going to be doing, like their school curriculum and stuff, I guess. But yeah, I really enjoy this book. I am excited to see what the 7 years is going to be like for them. Um, but there's 72 kids who are brought to the school in the beginning, and only 7 make it out alive. So
Okay. That's
there's a lot going on.
I would say that's an extra layer in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I think that's what makes it like really interesting, because in this issue it's like their first day of school, like they get their rooms and stuff, and then you see like 5 kids just get murdered
Okay.
by other students. So
Okay.
it's like a weird fight to the death type situation, but like the kids don't know that. They just like, it's illegal in, I wouldn't say illegal, but it's like against the rules in the school to use magic to kill someone else, because they're learning
Okay.
how to like harness the magic. I don't know. It's very interesting. I really enjoy it, and that's all.
Okay. Okay. It sounds like really weird. So,
It is, yeah. No, it's a very very weird book, but it's also one of those that would be like super cool as like a movie,
okay.
like one of those I don't know, like technicolor like 80s horror movies. Like it would be really cool as one of those.
All right. Okay. Well, I guess I'll go now.
Okay.
Um, I have first, I don't want to go too deep into this, but this is Bone Orchard Mythos. This is Tenement. Um, this is a new entry into Bone Orchard world. This follows, I think it was like 7 different people who live in an apartment building together. and their lives are all like intertwined. I would say out of the two books so far, I like the start of this one like the most. Um, I think it's probably the best so far. And this like just the first issue, I was like, oh, I like this a lot more. I don't know what it is about it. Like maybe it is the intertwining stories. The narration was pretty good. Like I sent you that letter
Mm-hmm.
that was in the back of it. I think like having a little bit of a clearer picture of like what they mean for this like world to be helps, where they're just like, okay, I'm getting snippets of stories that aren't necessarily like interconnected, but all take place within a like one spot with some sort of like weird evil stuff.
Right.
Because it was just like I think with that first and second one, I was just looking for the connection so hard where I was like, well, there's nothing like I don't feel what it is really, you
Yeah.
know.
I think that was like a point of contention, at least for me as well, was like, how are these all connected when there's like no real picture?
Yeah. So it's like it's not like I really, really like this. I think it's a real strong start to the story. Just like always, like the panel setups are really cool. The art is really fucking good. And
Is
I
it
don't know.
still Andrea Sorrentino?
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
yeah, Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino and Dave Stewart. So just the
Okay.
three of them. So yeah, it's like I think it's a real a really good one so far with this first issue, and I think out of all of them, the best. So
Okay.
personal
That's
opinion.
exciting.
Yeah, it does make me excited to continue reading it. Because I was kind of hesitant, especially when you were like, well, I'm gonna wait and get it in trade. And I was like, well, maybe I should do that too. But
Right.
no, I'm not doing it. You're not fooling me.
I had to. It was a choice I had to make.
It's fine. And then next I have Good Deeds. This is issue number 2. This is by Jake Grayson, Kelsey Ramsey, and Rhonda Pattinson. This is about a mom and her daughter. They moved to a small town in Florida, I think it was. Um, and there is an unexpected death while a man is basically attacking this young woman in a restaurant. Um, and now the town is, just being a bunch of white hicks about it and being awful, being a
Classic.
bunch of racist assholes. I really, really like this a lot. I've like the art is really, really good. Uh, I like this story is really intriguing, and I have no fucking clue what's like really happening like underneath the layers. So
Mm-hmm.
mhm, that's a good type of story in my opinion.
So it's not connected to the firefighter one, but it's
Mm-mm,
still
no,
the
no.
same universe.
I think it's just like a line that like Scott Snyder is doing.
Okay.
That's like I guess I don't even know how to describe it because even like the first story, the wildfire book, the tone is completely different. It's like a heist book, but there is like that added level of them being like female, like incarcerated female people or women.
Mhm.
Um, and the fact that they are dealing with that level, like there's that, I don't know. So it's like completely different from this, where it's like a mother and her daughter moving to a different town trying to take over this like restaurant, and then there's like a whole supernatural like kind of level going on there.
Right. Okay. I for some reason I feel like I had asked last issue and we just weren't
Yeah,
sure.
and I'm still just like not 100% sure. I should have looked it up, but I did
Okay.
not.
I completely forgot about it until you just showed it to me. So
Yeah, they're not connected, but they're under the same line of books
okay,
basically.
that makes sense. Okay,
Are you
are you ready
ready?
for next?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. This is The Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos. This is issue number 1. It is based on an idea by James Tynan and then written by Tate Brumble, and Isaac Goodhart does the art. There's a lot of people on this book. Um, Miguel Muerto does the colors, and Aditya Bidikar does the letters. This is a story about a boy named Christopher Chaos who was born a little bit differently. He I don't know. I don't know how to explain it because there's like so much going on in this first issue.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's just like the best way to leave it, because otherwise, like, I think there's reveals and stuff in this book that, like, you don't really want to get into. You want to like save for later while you're reading.
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah, I think it's a good introduction to the character and kind of what you're about to get. I love the art like a bunch. The colors are super good. Like, just the way the art looks is great.
Yeah, it was a very visually pleasing book.
Yeah, and there's like the pages where the like, the bolts and stuff that he's making filled out the panels, which was really
Mm-hmm.
cool. It kind of reminded me of like a good Archie horror book.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And I read a little bit about what the next issue. Sorry, I didn't realize it
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
whole picture. I read a little bit about the next issue, and I do um the heavy like literary influence and stuff that's like across the story. I think is very very interesting. Um, but I don't know. There was something that I just really really enjoyed about it, and I think it was the whole like I told you earlier
Yeah.
thing, which I don't want to say on here because I don't want to spoil anything, but it reminded me of this movie that I watched when I was little that I was obsessed with. Um, so I think that's why I liked it so much was because I think about that movie all the time.
All right. Yeah, no, it's like it's not like I didn't like it. I enjoyed it. I came out of it and I was like, all right,
Hmm.
I definitely need like a second issue. Like, the thing that I really enjoyed, yeah, was the art. The story, it
Hmm.
was just like, okay, now what's next?
Yeah, I did because I did enjoy it and I didn't enjoy it for what it was, but I do feel like getting to the point took a little longer than I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some complaints about it, but it's nothing like major. So,
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
but that's all I have to say about that book.
That's gonna be like the worst edit. Uh, I don't know where any of that started or stopped.
I, I have no idea. I guess we'll see when we play it back.
Yeah, I'll get something out of there. Okay, I guess we'll move on to the next book then,
Okay.
if you're ready.
Yes, I am ready.
Okay. This is X-Men Before the Fall, The Heralds of Apocalypse. This is just a one shot. This just follows Apocalypse and his wife as they're having some domestic problems.
Now, and I feel kind of stupid asking this because I'm sure it's like completely obvious, but I wanted to make sure as I was reading it. This does take place after the events of Judgment Day,
Yeah.
right? Like, and it's literally like in current timeline. Like this is just what
Mm,
Apocalypse has been doing that whole time.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought, but it's also, I mean, it's an X-Men story, so you never know.
Yeah, I mean, there's also like the little intro
That whole
part
thing.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
during the okay, yes. Okay, that makes way more sense. I was just a little confused because at some points it felt like it was, I mean, never mind. Now I'm thinking about it, it makes 100%.
Yeah, I was like, sometimes it does flash back.
Yes, that's okay. I knew that. I knew that, but it's yeah, just Apocalypse and his fam leading up to this new the fall of the X-Men.
Yeah. It's interesting because I really did like this a lot. I miss Apocalypse,
Mhm.
and that made me really care for the dude. And then they're like, see ya, bye. And I like the emphasis, like what was happening here in this like book itself with like, you know, Genesis and like and Apocalypse's kids, like finding out that he's been like he knows what's been going on, but hasn't like been telling them.
Mhm.
And the fact that they're just like so willing to fight, and yeah, I don't know. I think it was I don't really want to read any books, but I suppose if there's one with apocalypse in it, I would like be willing to probably pick it up.
Hmm. Yeah, I do like how they kept him in the know, like he is aware of obviously what's happening and he's still like empathetic towards the situation and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, the fighting with his wife over that type of thing, like I really like that they kept his character the way that they left him.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It was very, very cool. Okay, I'll go. I will go.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm gonna hold this up first and then read the title because the title's kind of long.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's actually not. It just looked a lot longer than it was. This is Tales of Suspense. I still don't know how to like pronounce this.
It would
Suspense.
just, yeah, it would just be
Suspense.
suspense, yeah.
Spelled funny. There are two short stories in here, Le Mort 13 and Dream Weaver.
Hmm.
I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't know if these have anything to do with any of the series that they've done before. The main reason why I enjoy these books so much, like picking them up, is because of the art and the way that the
Hmm.
story is like told. I just think it's really cool. So it's just an anthology of stories. The first one is about robots. From what I can understand, it does like
Yeah.
go back and forth a lot. And then the second one is about a character named Dreamweaver, who the art is completely different.
Yeah, no, the art in that one was wild. I actually did read this one off the wall.
And I did really enjoy it. And there's like a long author's note like in the back explaining like what the syzygy, I don't know what their comic line how to
Yeah.
pronounce, but explaining like how that came to be and like how they came up with the ideas for the stories and who Dreamweaver is and all this kind of stuff. Like very, very interesting. And again, it is an anthology, so I don't know if like the second issue is going to be like continuances of these two stories or if it's going to be two whole new stories because
Yeah.
just the way that they left off. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
It was all right. Like,
I like
I
the
don't know.
first story a
Yeah,
lot.
I was saying I had like mixed feelings on both the stories. I like got like the point of the like second half of the story and the first one, but I was just like,
Mhm.
I don't need this. So I wasn't like mad about not like picking it up or anything. It was just like,
Right. Well, and I am hoping that like the second issue does have two different,
more, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I would like each issue to have like different stories and stuff because again, I did enjoy those, but I would just like more.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, I guess I have The Vigil. This is issue number 2. It says by Ram B and Lalit Kumar Sharma and Rain Barreto. Uh, this is about just some, I guess, like deep undercover people with powers book. I don't know the best way to describe this because you're introduced to these characters in the detective issue like 1060 something. They talk about it in this detective issue.
Hmm.
Um, and then one of them actually, like this character makes an appearance in that detective issue as well. So it's one of those things where I really like I like this issue a lot and what like the story is like turning out to be, but I really have no way to describe it besides, like Blackish of Black Ops, sort of like underground team put together doctor who you don't know what's quite going on with,
Hmm.
just lots of those things.
An action movie.
And it's an action movie. It's a great. I love it so far.
All right, perfect. Love
No
that.
words. No words. I like the book. Like champ like book.
Champ. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
5 popcorns. That's it.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so we have Batman, Superman, World's Finest. This is issue number 16. This book is just like chugging along.
I did not realize there were 16 issues
Yeah,
already.
there's
That's
quite a bit.
crazy.
Um, this just kind of conclude like, does this conclude the Metal Men thing?
I think it's like the penultimate.
Yes, it has one more.
Yes, to be concluded. I was right. I was right
Yeah.
for once. I pay attention.
Still fun little story. I don't think there's really more to say about it. It's just like Batman, Superman taking different stuff on and just fun, exciting ways. Get a little Plastic Man in here, which was cool.
um, I do have one thing that I want to say, and it honestly, it's not even about this story. It's about the ad that's in here. Um, um, I,
Yes.
I'm so frustrated with the way that they are like releasing these.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like it's such a minor complaint because like so I have all of the single issues. They were all $9.99.
Yep, yep, yep.
That's it. That's it.
Hmm, hmm,
But if you want it in hardcover,
hmm,
each
hmm,
one is its own individual hardcover for $19.99.
hmm, hmm.
I'm just very irritated by that. And every DC book that I read has that ad for it, and I kept getting mad every time I saw it. Like, why?
Yeah, no, that I was actually complaining to Dave about that the other day. And I was like, and also why not give me like a cute little box for all of my comics?
Yeah. And there's like a box set that's coming out.
And it includes the original One Bad Day Killing Joke,
Yeah.
which I don't want to read the Killing Joke.
I don't think anyone does anymore.
But
With
yeah, I
original coloring and the hardcover edition of that doesn't make any sense. It says box includes an exclusive version of Batman the Killing Joke with original coloring and the hardcover edition of Batman One Bad Day, The Riddler to start your collection. So you just get a box. You don't get you only get those two, and then you have to buy all the individual. What are you doing, DC? Why are you
I think
doing this?
for some reason I do think there's a box. I'll look that up later
Yeah.
and hop
Well,
in a note.
it says there is a box. Like there's a and with the purchase of the box, you get those two. You get the Batman the Killing Joke and then the One Bad Day the Riddler. That's it.
Well, I'll look more into this.
Okay, please, because I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, let's
Okay.
talk about this next book because
Okay.
I'm heated.
So next we have Detective Comics. This is issue 1073. This is just continuing this Gotham opera, and I really like this story quite a bit and what's happening and like the way it's like weaving. I
Mhm.
wish the issues weren't coming out once a month almost. It's like one of the
Yeah, if
first
it was
times I wish it was like bi-monthly.
yeah, I was gonna say every other week would be like perfect for this kind of story, like specifically. Um Also, I meant to say the Gothbra.
Good,
Gotham
good.
opera. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, good, good, good.
But also, so there's two different artists. Okay, yeah, there is.
Hmm, hmm.
Two different artists who work on this book. And I honestly I'm preferring like the latter half.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
way Batman looks like in the sewers. It's
There's
so
like, yeah, I love the art, that art. I love the other art too. It has, but it just has such a different feel that
good.
it's like the contrast between the two of them is like a lot, but it makes sense at the same time because one artist is kind of doing this like Batman like point of view stuff, and then the other artist is doing like kind of your like public sort of view, like outside of this like sewer like swamp area that Batman is trapped in. So it,
Right.
like the dichotomy between the two is like good at the same time. So like I thought that was really interesting when I was looking at it and thinking about it.
I do, yeah, I do enjoy this story arc a whole lot. And then the second story is just the little origin of Arzen and
Yeah, that
his
was just
mother.
so good too. Like
Mhm.
that this backstory has been so good. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I really like this story a lot, quite a bit.
Mhm. It's been
Just
it started out kind of slow, to be honest. I know we've discussed this before, but
mhm.
then like since it's been going, it's it's been killer. And you get a little preview.
Yeah. Yeah, I read that. I'm gonna read it on Monday, but like, what is that? What is
I
that?
started to thinking that it was still the arson origin story, and then I was like, wait a minute, this is not it. So I stopped.
Yeah. Can't wait to
So yeah,
talk about night terrors.
we'll
Um,
discuss that next week.
so then next we have Batman Brave and the Bold. This is issue number 2. This is a little anthology with stories by Tom King and Mitch Gerrits, uh, Ed Brisson and Jeff Spokes, and then Christopher Cantwell and Javier Rodriguez, and then Joelle Jones also has a story in here. You read the first 2,
Hmm.
and I like this Tom King Batman story just fine.
I really like the art for
I would say
it.
the art is real good.
I think that's what keeps me going with it is like the colors specifically.
Hmm.
I
I
I love
am
it.
I am a fan of the dumb silent picture like pages with the text
With
and
all
stuff.
the fucking dumb jokes.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
am.
I love it.
But yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just a Batman story. Tell me about the Stormwatch story.
It's literally just a continuance of what was going on in the first story. Ravager and Ravage, I can't even say it. Ravager,
Ravager.
yes, and crew are on their little mission. And things go a bit awry.
Okay.
So yeah.
And then it's just a Superman story that's good. Superman's got a decoder ring. He's looking for this guy and gets some surprises. And then the last story is not, there's not a lot of words, but it's just basically about like all of Batman's scars. He's kind of just like getting flashes of memory from like how he got all of his scars.
He's like a Taylor Swift song.
Yes. I I just answered. I don't
You
even
just,
know.
well, and I don't listen to Taylor Swift, so I don't know. I just know that there's a line in one of her songs that is you drew stars on my scars, something like
But
that. And I just hear it on TikTok all the time. And every time I hear it, I'm just like, oh my God. But she says something about scars, so that was why I brought it up.
okay. Weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I have a couple books that Heather didn't grab because they were very damaged, but she's also reading. So I've Seasons Have Teeth. This is number 3. And this just continues the story of like the seasons becoming like, I guess, kaiju like creatures. And this man is out like taking photos of all of them. In this issue, he's finding Autumn in Chernobyl and kind of just talking about his wife's death a little bit more and going into that in a little bit more detail. This issue was really, really good. I like this story a lot. I think it's worth checking out. But yeah, this is a heavy one.
Okay.
So
Like
um
heavy, I'll cry, or just a heavy, like emotional
it's
thing.
just heavy emotional thing.
Okay.
Like maybe you'll cry, but I think it's more of a like, ugh,
Yeah.
it's shitty.
It'll just
But
sit with you.
yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay.
But it's a story by Dan Waters and Sebastian Carbrol, and colored by Dan Jackson. So yeah, I don't know, definitely worth checking out. And then this little sheet of paper is World Tree. This is issue number 3. I took it back to work because it was
I forgot
a
about the
damage.
paper.
Yeah. I will finish out this story arc. I do not care to read this story beyond that unless something major happens. Like, I will do a spoiler alert though here because I am going to spoil this because there's no way I can talk about this story without making a little spoiler. Um, no, I'll skip like 5 minutes ahead. I hope I'm done by then. So, the Buffy episode where Willow is on the internet and finds a boyfriend
Mhm.
and then ends up being a demon in the internet.
Yeah.
There's a demon in the internet.
Oh my God. Is this a metaphor for how evil the internet is?
Anyway, it's just one of those things where like you get a glimpse of these like weird, like gooey, like I don't know if they're gooey, but like dudes, like things in the internet, and then they talk about like what was going on with that dude's girlfriend when she was like seeing the computer screen, and they like she's possessed now and they are doing an exorcism.
Okay. Yeah, I'm guarantee I'm not gonna finish after this story arc.
So
I
I
was
that,
annoyed by that first issue.
I just like that's why I was like I need you to read it so badly, because it's one of those things where I'm like, am I being too harsh? Am I just being kind of an asshole about this? Which I'm sure I am. This is like the first time I think I've been kind of an asshole about a Tynan book, but I just like that's what I'm saying. I just gotta finish this story arc and then I'll be done. I don't need any more of it. Um, but yeah, I was just like, I've seen this episode of Buffy. I know what happens.
Mhm.
A
It was
vampire
like
slayed this demon. It's fine.
she did it in style too. Come on. Also, I was gonna say that it's not the first time you've been an asshole about a Tynan book. When he first started writing Batman,
Ugh. I mean, I wasn't really an asshole about that though.
no, but it was the way that you felt about that Batman book is exactly how I feel about this. Like it was him just trying to be edgy.
Yeah, no, and that's how I feel about this book too. Is it just like
Yeah.
it still comes off like it comes off that way. Like a lot of the talking in this issue, just like I don't know. If like I said, it just feels like a late 90s, early 2000s book where it's just like, but it's in this time frame and it's like it's written better, but also not good, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
it's written well. Like it's not a poorly written book. It's just not that good of a story.
Yeah. Well, and I think
And
like
the art is really good too. So that's like, it's one of those things.
and I do think that, Tynan is a very solid writer. Like I think he's
Hmm.
really, really good. I think he has like a grasp on like when he has these ideas, he has he's very good at like putting it into words.
Hmm. Hmm.
But there's it's not going to be a 100% hit every single time.
No, no, exactly.
And
Yeah.
I do think that it's a good thing that there is a book that he is writing that we have both felt like not too good about,
Yeah.
because then that's where like the weird worship starts coming in and I get like weird about it, where I'm just like, I've never read a book of his that I don't like. No, there's always going to be one,
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
least one. It makes him feel more human and not like a machine.
Yeah. And that's fair, They're not all gonna be like, yeah, they're not all gonna be bangers.
Yeah.
You can only hope for the best. And it's like we've always said about all the stuff we talk about, just because it's like a story that's not for me doesn't mean it's not a story for somebody else.
Right.
And I
Exactly.
think it's also kind of we're products of our time. Like we were inuated. I don't I'm
Inundated.
inundated. Thank you. With that,
Yeah.
with like that sort of story throughout our lives. Like,
Mhm.
evil internet, like there's a demon in the internet situation. Like those are stories we've always had. So for me, it doesn't feel like that much. It doesn't feel like it's beyond anything I've seen before.
We survived Y2K. Like,
Yeah, no, yes,
we get it.
exactly. So yeah, maybe for like somebody else who doesn't, wasn't in that same generation of people, like it'll be different. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. Derek says he likes it, so
Well, Derek is our little edge lord, so
all right, that's all I have. So I hope that was about 5 minutes.
it was about. I think.
Okay. I,
I'm not
I
very
think
good at math or counting, but I think that was about 5.
I felt like less than that when like I spoiled it, but then, rambled on.
Oh, oh wait, hold on. I have one. Remember?
Oh yeah, I fucking forgot about that. Yes. Oh, sorry. I don't know who I'm apologizing to.
To me, clearly.
It's
Uh,
to the baby inside of you. I shouldn't be cursing in front of it quite yet.
yeah, I mean, he has been a monster for the last like 20 minutes. He's in my ribs today, so I keep having to like push him down. Anyway, this is Blue Book. This
Yes.
is a Tynan book. Issue number 5. And you said you had read it, you just don't have the copy.
Yeah, all of those copies were damaged. Like a lot of our books came in damaged this week. Like some definitely a UPS issue because the box was like just crushed on one side, and then all of the comics inside were just like bent.
Oh, dang. That
So
sucks. I hate when that
yeah,
happens.
yeah,
So basically this just sums up the Betty and Barney Hill story about their alien abduction.
mhm.
Um, and like what kind of happens because of their like testimony of the abduction. And then the end story is called "And I Have Been Promised It," and it's just about psychics and mediums and stuff like that, which I thought was very, very interesting. The way that they go into discussing how each of the um, mediums who were using ecto,
Yeah,
I can't think of what it's
ectoplasm.
called. Yes, ectoplasm and stuff, how they were each proved to be like fake and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So yeah, it's true or false, mediums are real type of thing. I thought it was very, very interesting.
yeah,
But
I liked it a lot.
uh Champ did the research, so you guys don't have to. There's apparently only 5 issues.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's one of those things where this is 5 of 5. Um, solicit is somewhat unclear because it says stories,
Yeah.
and this is only one story.
Yeah,
So
and
we'll
unless they're
and then
counting like the backstories too.
but yeah, like there's also a separate part about those.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so who
Um,
knows? There might be like a part 2 with like more blue book stories.
yeah, but the way that that ends, it says the end on it. So I don't I don't know. Unclear to me, honestly.
We'll see.
Yeah. It's like it may come back, it may not. Who knows?
Time will tell.
Just like UFOs.
Yes, it's true. All
Okay.
right, now we can both talk about this. This is
Uh,
Kaya.
issue number 9. Uh Kaya is just trying to get to Jin. She has lost her arm. Lots of stuff happens this issue, actually.
Yeah, she is completely separated from Seth, and
Oh, I don't
I can never
remember.
remember his name because he changed it.
It's like they talk about it at the end. It's okay. The bad ones. Zothan.
The turd.
Yeah, Zothan, that's his name.
Sophie, yeah. Uh, you're Mushka now. Anyway, yeah, she is separated from them. Seth and his brother-in-law and the evil turd-looking lizard. They're on their own, still trying to find, where they need to be, where they need to go, all that kind of stuff. There's an ambush, there's waterboarding, there's all sorts of crazy stuff in this issue.
Yeah, no, it is like it's like so much is happening. It's just like I feel really bad for everybody right now.
Yeah, yeah, it's very upsetting. It's This is one of those books where I didn't realize like how much I liked certain characters until
Mm-hmm.
things happened to them, and then I was like, why would you do that?
Yeah, no, it is one of those things like watching, yeah, the brother-in-law like get hit with stuff and just like, no, I actually like I really liked you. You're a really good guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, and even, when he's talking, um, I can't remember that lizard's name, to the good lizard.
Seth.
Uh Seth, yeah, about like his feelings for Kaya. It's just like very straightforward and truthful. And I was like, damn, that's like it's really good. Like there's something like really like honorable and like that at its core. So
It's very
just
wise. Yeah, and I didn't like seeing Jen be tortured like that, like the
yeah.
boy. I didn't like that. It was very uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, no, this is like one of those, yeah, you're right. It's just one of those stories where you're just like you're really connected to the characters and you don't realize it, and all of this like bad stuff is happening and you're just like, no, like
Yeah.
please get back together, like everything be fine. But
Yeah,
that's
I don't.
also not necessarily like what's gonna happen like 100%.
I didn't like it.
Okay. Are you ready for our last one?
Yes, this is our last one.
Got Saga. This is issue number 65. There's one more issue left in this story arc. And I guess there's like a big surprise in this issue.
Yeah,
Okay.
some crazy stuff happens. Like this is also one that where like a lot happens.
Yeah, a ton happens.
Mm-hmm. I as we discussed have some mixed feelings
Yeah,
on
yeah.
a lot of what happens. There was yeah, this line that I really really enjoyed where uh Squire's just like I'm the one who screwed up and Alana is just very sweet to him.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh my beautiful boy, you sound just like your father. I think that's one thing that I do really enjoy this about this story is she does a good job of like keeping them alive, like
Yeah,
for the kids.
yeah. Yeah, I know it's just it felt like what happened in this issue kind of just felt like something needed to happen
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing. Like it was such a weird way to go about it where I was like, I don't was this necessary?
It all happens so fast because it's
Mm-hmm.
like there are two other instances like in this issue where you think something is like happening and then it just flips and something else happens, and it is very frustrating like how fast it goes is because like no, it wasn't necessary at all, like that did not need to happen.
Because it's like, well, now that's gonna add a layer of like they're gonna be going like the Will and what's her name are gonna be going after Petrichor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's like, yeah, like what's our goal? Like, I need to know what the goal is here now, how we're going about stuff.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll see, especially with like the next issue because the way that like two of the characters were left, like it's not looking good for them either.
No,
So like who even knows?
certainly not me.
No, because I mean, look, if we can complain as much as we want about how this story is going, but if Brian K. Vaughan is good at one thing, it's like just throwing you for a loop and just like and when you least expect it to, like just you think
Yeah.
one thing is going to happen and then all of a sudden he's like, nope, I'm going to do even worse.
Yeah, I feel like he really does like trying to murder characters
Mm-hmm.
or like giving you like, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and kill this person.
Yeah, like I'm done, I'm over it, this person's gone.
And maybe not, but it's still, yeah.
I'm still, like holding out hope that like Prince Robot's just going to come back.
I really don't think that's gonna happen.
You never know. You never know with Saga.
Okay, so that's all we got. That's it. So yeah, go to your local comic book shops and buy some fucking comic books, bros. Uh
Do it.
support everybody, support your friends, love your friends, take care of each other. Go to your local libraries.
Yeah, keep libraries alive, please. We need that.
Yeah, we need education. We need books. Books. Heather, what you got?
um I'm trying to think of what it's one of the humane societies in Nebraska. It's either in Lincoln or Omaha. I can't remember. They are running low on supplies like blankets and stuff for the animals and stuff. So if you have anything to donate, maybe you should hit them up and donate some stuff. Just do it anyway, even if they're not short on anything, because there are a lot of like dogs and cats in. I get really emotional with that because I've seen a lot of videos recently of just like their kennels being overloaded. So if you have any way to help, just please help. Those poor animals didn't ask for this.
So yeah, thank you for listening and we love you and we'll see you on the flippity flip. Bye.
Later.